It's time for another installment of Ask Matty, and this week we have a lot of questions about trades in the National Hockey League. One of the people from Twitter wants to know if the Oilers should trade Jordan Eberle for Travis Hamonic, the New York Islander defenseman. It makes some sense because the Oilers certainly need Travis Hamonic on their blue line, probably need two defensemen actually. And Hamonic wants to be traded from the Islanders to a team closer to his Manitoba roots. But I don't see that happening in the regular season. That trade, if it comes down the pipe, will be at the draft. And the Islanders would need a defenseman back, and I don't know if the Oilers are going to give him a defenseman back as well. Eberle would fill a hole if Kyle Opozo is not signed with the Islanders this summer. He's an unrestricted free agent. Of course, Eberle could take a spot as a top six forward, but that doesn't really help the Oilers much in terms of getting Hamonic during the season. Another question on the trade, Ryan Johansson for Seth Jones, Nashville and Columbus. Amazingly, a trade in the National Hockey League, and one we can talk about after the first 3 or 4 months of the season when nothing happened, and that is two young players being traded. I agree with the questioner about Ryan Johansson. I think Johansson's a better player right now than Seth Jones. He's the #1 center in the National Hockey League, 33 goals one year, 71 points another year in Columbus. Seth Jones was the #5 defenseman right now in Nashville. He's a right side defenseman, as Shea Weber was taking more minutes than Seth Jones. So they probably didn't get enough, but Nashville has never had a young offensive center, and they've been in the league about 20 years. So this is huge for them, getting Johansson, who can play against the other team's good players in the playoffs, should Nashville make the playoffs in the Central Division. And Seth Jones immediately hops to the top of the list in Columbus on defense, but Columbus opened a huge hole because they have no center to replace Ryan Johansson as the #1 center. I don't see Jamie Alexiak for Teddy Purcell. The last thing the Dallas Stars need is another offensive forward. They got the best offense in the league with Sagan and Ben and Spezza and Sharp and down the list. So they don't need another forward. They need a defenseman. They need a second pairing defenseman to play with Johnny Aduya, who played for the Blackhawks and won a couple of cups. So they need a second pairing defenseman, and I'm sure Jim Neal, who just got a 5-year contract, will be all over that at the trading deadline to try to get a second pairing defenseman. Jamie Alexiak is enticing, however. He's 6'7", 240 pounds, former first-round draft choice of Nashville, but he cannot crack that defense. So there's lots of teams looking at him. You're not going to turn down a 6'7" 23-year-old defenseman if you can possibly get him, but the Oilers are not going to get him for Teddy Purcell. I don't know if they can get him for something else, but they're not getting him for Teddy Purcell.